Hey everyone, and welcome to the Age of Bison YouTube channel, where we've got another tournament game in our Sunbros 2v2 tournament. This is the upper quarterfinals. My name's General Spades. I am joined with Platypus Slayer. Plat, what's up?
Not much. Like I said, we're kind of getting closer to the big event, so I'm really excited to see some impressive play, a lot of different strategies. Both these teams play very differently. Corbin and Stefan are kind of more known for their very off-meta, very unique strategies. Carey and Holes are both, from what I've seen, very clean players. They also tend to, though, to play a little bit off meta or play uniquely. So we might see some off the wall stuff here executed very well. So I'm excited.
So a little bit of background of this series. This is actually game 2 of the series between these two players. It's a best of 5 series. Carey and Holtzkuppa won game 1. And so Team Traitors, as they keep on pinging a whole bunch of treasures, decided to pick Mongolia. And that is essentially where we are. They are fighting to tie up the series, and their opponents are going to fight to take match point and be one win away from winning. We're on the map Mongolia. Let's take a look at the decks that we have right now. No decks selected so far. Games, we're pretty early. We're pretty early. Here we go. We'll get one from Carey. Maybe. In a minute. Okay, here we go. Oh, well, that's interesting. We have a deck specifically named Mongolia from the Lakota player. So he's got a strat.
I would guess maybe some sort of stagecoach with the 3 TPs. It's Lakota's had a lot of reworks lately. They got a massive rework 2 months ago. They got a lot of nerfs the last patch. So a lot of Lakota is a bit unknown, but it will probably be a cavalry heavy force. Judging by the 3 TPs, Lakota really got its booming potential knocked back in this last patch, so perhaps he's going for a stagecoach, using the very high TP line value. Not to mention his army's fast and mobile enough, it can actually protect it and still push in the middle, so good strategy, I think.
Also interesting to note, we have the Comanche allies, cowboys, all these different outlaw or I'm blanking.
Outlaw or mercs.
Yeah,
I mean, they're
mercs.
a combination.
Mercs, that's the word I was looking for. Seeing as Mongolia does have gold mines all over the map, taking map control and securing these gold mines and then sending the outlaw merc cards would be a pretty good decision. We're going to hop over to Germany. Team 2v2 land. Settler wagons, nothing. We've got some Dops in here. Jaegers, nothing too special. We do see
the
Germany
settler
now
wagon
aging up with a logistician. So we'll be getting an extra Ulan with every shipment. I believe that's what it does, right?
That is correct. Well, it's every it adds an Ulan to age 1 and age 2 shipments. One normally not having any, so
gotcha.
You need about 3 to 4 shipments typically for it to pay off. So it's kind of a little bit greedy because Germany usually needs the quartermaster to get up and running, to get houses in particular. But if they can get an Ulan mass, it's definitely worth it. See what a Malta and German
aging up with the chief. Corbin Harbor aging up with the governor, so that'll be a tower in base. I glossed over Lakota's chief because I don't know what it does. Plat, can you inform?
Lakota makes you go zoom.
Okay. And just so we don't miss out, Steven is aging with the governor as well. So 2 governors from the blue team and a logistician chief from the red team. We're going to take a look at the decks now. Team Musk for Brit. He's got 3 villagers, and Virginia Company has sent him both. So we'll go back over here. And other than that, that seems relatively standard. Grenade launchers is an interesting choice for sure. Improved grenades. So that would be the not standard. But this is like an H2 play, it looks like.
Let's see what Corbin's doing
And
with
then
Malta.
Corbin with Malta is going German tongue, or has gone German tongue. Early, found a wood treasure. I would assume we missed that somewhere. And then sent German tongue and is going to be spamming out settler wagons out of a commandery, which is up here. Up here. Oh.
Wow.
Forward
That was a
commandery.
very-
We'll turn Fog of War on. We'll take a look at this. So early aggression to pair with the Age 2 deck from his British ally. Commandery going very forward, securing 2 coin mines here. May eventually end up getting this treasure. There's a hunt up here that's relatively within range, and Malta's eco is about to go into overdrive after he gets all these settler wagons out. We're going to hop.
That's correct. Something to think about too, this might be really surprising for the other team because Malta right now either kind of Pike Expo rushes in Age 2 or it just kind of turtles, right? So, having a commandery that far forward with the German tongue, they might catch him off guard. Have they scouted that?
They know it
Okay.
exists. So they may be expecting Ulan raids at this point. Or maybe not Ulan raids, Hussar raids. At this point, maybe not expecting the German tongue build. So pretty good play on the part of Team Blue, Team Traitors here, to maybe try and deceive their opponents a little bit and expect the rush, as these Ulans are not raiding. They are just kind of hanging out in base and not doing anything while they're not raiding, because we've got some Axe Riders raiding
This is what
on
Lakota
the
is known
south side.
for.
Exactly, but Musketeers there to defend. We're going to come up here. We've got, there are some Ulan raids up here. Just a few of them, though, while the main force stays behind to ensure that this commandery doesn't catch them off guard. We'll turn Fog
Looks
of
like
War
blue
back
is now raiding,
on.
so purple is being attacked.
Purple is being attacked. Some Order Hussar raids going to come in, maybe not even get a villager. One interesting thing to note, this is a very condensed base from Lakota. He's got the corrals here, right next to his trade post. The tribal marketplace, again, right next to the town center. I said trade post the last time, I apologize. Lakota has taken a trade post, which feels pretty standard for Age 2. We're going to take a look at the shipments now. 6 Hussar, we saw 700 wood coming in next for Brits to try. Oh, excuse me, hiccups, to try and get a little bit of a boom out. And we'll turn Fog of War back on really quick. We'll see a little bit of a battle going on here. They're sieging this commandery down with some Order Hussar going into raid. Potentially just letting this go down without contention. Buying a little bit of time to rebuild in the south side, as these raids are going to come in and be pretty unsuccessful due to the mass of Ulans just hanging out there. Hold on, let's turn Fog of War back on. These Comanche horse archers thought they were going to come in and fight off, but decided they were going to have a better time sieging this down instead. Brit on 29 villagers. Malta on 24 villagers. His card order, 3 villagers. German tongue, Wignacourt construction, and then 8 crossbowmen coming in to try and deal with the Comanche. Won't do much against the Axe Riders, if anything, or the Ulan. So that's an interesting call, I think, to ship 8 crossbowmen.
It's the bow riders. You don't really have anything else to kind of keep them off. Bow riders are probably one of the best raiding units in the game, although again they did recently receive a small nerf to the damage they do to villagers from 0.75 down to 0.5, I believe.
So these are Comanche horse archers. These are not bow riders. These are different.
Yeah, but they still get hit by skirmisher type or archer type units just the same.
That is true, but I mean, you think about the amount of Ulans and Axe Riders compared to the amount of horse archers. It feels interesting to me.
Well, if your ally's Brits. think the musks will be covered.
Oh yeah, the musks are definitely going to cover this. So that's that's a good point, Platt. I should listen to you more often. Crazy Horse and Holtz Kappa on 25 villagers, and where was I? Corbin Harbor 27, 25, 29 for Kerry. How many of those with 10 settler wagons? So that's more like 39. And then with a little bit of German tongue, as I have to find, where's his name? There it is. Oh, goodness. Professional casts, I promise. Versus 5 settler wagons, so 29 now to 34 total settlers. So I have to give the advantage a little bit to Germany. He now has a trade post of his own to pair with his teammates' trade post.
Something to think about, though. Remember, because of Wigna Court, or as I like to call it, Winning Court. That's even higher. So Malta, the thing is, Germany's economy tends to get up faster, but it tends to kind of fall off or plateau, right? Germany's a tempo civ. It's all about putting pressure on your opponent and winning through not necessarily cost-effective trades, but just having more units in the right spot at the right time. So Malta can very easily kind of boom out of control, so to speak. And wow, we're about to see a massive battle, or not, because Lakota.
Lakota's gonna run away. Does have a mix of bow riders, so this is literally all dragoon type units. This is just a lot of cavalry, dude. Oh my goodness. And they're just going to keep kiting away.
Oh, are those Hospitaliers on the south?
Those are Hospitaliers. They're going to hop on some Uhlans here. Again, to your point really quick, you have, 32, so 42 compared to 31, 32, so 36 or 37, plus the 30% that Wigna Court. So I think Malta does have a slight eco advantage here, actually, Platt. As these raids, or this fight is happening still. They're chasing Lakota back to their base while these massive this mass of Uhlans is going to come in and try and get some raids, and we'll zoom out a little bit, try and see if we can see everything that's going on here. Musketeers getting in the fight with Cowboys. The Cowboy shipment does finally come in for Lakota. So this is like all goon play completely from Lakota here. They're going to try and kite the Musketeers. Hospitallers now hopping on the stable. The Uhlan raids are not really raiding any villagers here.
Yeah, it's smart though, right? There's so much anti-cav out on the field, right? The Uhlans are not going to win a one-on-one fight against like Hospitaliers or muskets necessarily, but they can cut off reinforcements and hopefully, Lakota can whittle down that mass, but I mean, Lakota's getting hit pretty hard here.
Lakota's getting hit really hard, losing some villagers. We're going to hop over to his perspective real quick. That's Holtzkappa. I am pronouncing that so terribly. I am sorry. As Lakota's about to lose their town center. They're in the middle of aging right now to 3. They might not get this out in time. Aging with the messenger.
And those are idle revs.
Well, the Uhlans might come to save the day. Nope, getting chased away by some Hospitallers who go immediately back to sieging. And down it goes. Down it goes. Lakota denied an age 3.
Wow.
Sitting on 25 villagers. That's huge.
Well, and you have no corral either. So you have all these resources. I don't see a market up. Although I'm sure he's going to chop out a TC first, but now he's got all these res, but without a corral, he really can't do anything.
He's got a bunch of res with nothing to do with it. His villagers are, oh my goodness, what's going on here? Oh no, just missed the villager exodus. Oh, they're spotting it now. Okay. Spot the villager exodus. Where did that massive Uhlans go? That massive Uhlans is all the way up here to come protect against their own.
Germany is age 3, and war wagons can win out in a lot of shootouts. Not against skirms. Not necessarily the greatest versus Musk, but these are age 2 Musk, even if they are British Musk.
And then here comes the skirm there's pop. The Jaeger pop.
Jaegers.
Oh goodness!
Ooh.
And then the Uhlans, veteran Uhlans now hopping on the Hospitallers with the Jaegers and the war wagons, and this is not a fight that you want to take if you're Team Blue right now. yes, you have severely impacted the efficacy of one of your opponents, but getting wiped here is not the right call, I don't think. You're going to
I don't
leave
think it
this
was a
massive...
call.
Well, they
I
didn't
think
really
it was
have a choice, I guess.
yeah. And,
Um,
and good stuff. Good job on you know, carrying holes to kind of, you know, stay calm, not tilt too bad. You know what I mean? Like we've got stables coming out for Lakota. They were able to get to age 3 and, you know, continue on their plan. So good hold by these two players. I think considering the amount of pressure that they're under, that's pretty impressive. And good job by Corbin Stefan to kind of be like, all right, well, you know, we did lose our match, but we're up ahead. Let's keep pressure on. Like we win the attrition game.
let's see here. Malta now on 41 villagers. Lakota down to 25. Germany sitting on 36 villagers right now. Hasn't been training a bunch. Maybe he has, but I perhaps lost a few to the battle that was in here. Not entirely sure. Steven on 57 villagers now, full Brit booming, aging 2-3 with the Adventurer. Smarter minds than me probably know what that gives them. Is that Hussar?
That's usually the scout.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Is
Shows you how much we play Brits here. But
yeah,
at the end of the day, Brit plan is it's going off. You know what I mean? Like this is still though kind of dangerous territory because now Germany, you know, Germany gets a power spike in 3. Germany was able to, even though it went logistician, it didn't suffer any pressure. So you're kind of in a tough spot now if you are Corbin and Stefan because you have, you know, full power Germany, and it's just going to be all over the place. So
and you even look at the scores here. Germany is carrying the score for his team, 23K of 32. So despite 17 minutes in, Lakota having under 10K score, their team is actually winning in terms of score as oh goodness, that's going to be a lot of villagers that are going to go down to these Ulans. Hospitaller is going to come in and defend, but too little too late. Oh, they're going to save 5 of them. Five get saved. Malta finally hitting age 3. Everybody's age 3 except poor Lakota, who lost his town center and does have one now. Okay. Just finished building it by the looks of it. Jaegers defending. Got a big mass of musketeers to the south. Probably trying stopping some raids. And now...
What do you do in this, or what would you do? So you're carrying holes, right? And you're behind. Wow. They're about to answer it. Look at them. They decide to put the pressure on the opponents, even though, you know, Lakota's really been hammered.
You know, I think you see that you just have a massive score lead. Lakota has spent a majority of this 10K score, I'm sure, is in this military force right here. And then Germany, you know, is full boom behind this. 44. How many villagers does he have? He's on 43 villagers now. This huge force. I think this is probably the right call. You're going to push in and just alleviate a little bit of the pressure off of your teammate so that he can, you know, get his town center or get a second one and start getting villagers. So I think this is a pretty good call by Team Samson here, as they're called in the server. And these Ulan's going to be melting the musketeers, actually, believe it or not. Longbows getting melted too. And yeah, these Jaegers are... it's hard to stop this. Platt.
It is, you know, something though to consider too is, like I said, Germany has a pretty impressive mass, and I think you know, when you're up against, if you're Corbin Stefan, you know, instead of trying to stop stuff, you can kind of sit back.
Well,
or you can raid with musks.
Or you can raid with musks out of nowhere. The musks that were here decided to come in, pull the bow riders off. I don't know if bow riders, there's some axe riders there, but I don't think this is the right combination. This is going to, this feels like it's going to be a wipe. Well, there's a pop of Seaton Bowman that'll try and change things a little bit. And then in the back, okay, the Jaegers or the Skirms are going to come in and wipe this mess. Okay. Skirms
mean,
came in, and we're gonna see
still
some.
though,
Yeah, it's
they did a good trade. And it sounds like Germany's kind of all over the place. The Ulan mass is getting a little bit low. War wagons are kind of slow, so they are amazing anti-cav and
oh
pretty good against
no.
artillery. Ooh,
Hate to
shoot.
interrupt you, but that's gonna be quite another big loss of villagers potentially
Wow.
here.
Boy,
For
the
yeah, yep, there they go. I mean, 1, 2, 3, at least another war wagon. We're gonna hop, or not war wagon, settler wagon. Corbin Harper immediately rebuilding settler wagons.
Man, I will say one thing. This game has definitely been unkind to civilians. This is definitely war crimes, the game.
Quite a loss of innocent life here, for sure.
Life on the Mongolian frontier is tough indeed. But no, I mean, both players are doing a great job, right? Of just raiding, keeping in the game. Like I said, Kerry, he's doing, Germany is kind of on a timer. It doesn't like to go H4. It's not as strong because its shipments aren't as good in H4. So this is his power spike. So he's got to figure out a way to almost 2v1 versus Brits, a very tough civ to push because of how robust their eco is, and Malta, which the same could be said of. So it's going to be interesting to see what Kerry and Holes try to do to seal this game before both Malta and Brits are able to get to the late game.
Oh, just letting his Ulans die here. That's a misplay for sure. They were just in here raiding, and then the poor the poor Ulans got subjected to some hospitaller slaughter here. I will say Germany is doing a very good job of preventing Malta from getting map control. They do have this town center here. Vittoriosa has been sent. Surprisingly, no fixed gun card in the deck. I do believe the Explorer can make them. Am I correct in
You
that
are correct.
assumption? Okay.
But they can be expensive, although they are incredibly good for their value if they're in the right spot. But this is a very open map, right? So you put it somewhere. What's to stop the opponent from just saying okay and just going around? Then your 7-pop 800 res building is useless.
Yeah. That is a good point. His Explorer is down anyways, so he's not going to be building any in the first place. But the one thing about Mongolia is that this map is huge and the natural resources are everywhere. So Corbin Harbour doing a pretty good job to get up here, find the natural res that's up here, secure these coin mines. But at the same time, we haven't seen any walls out, and these Ulan raids have just been devastating. Once we look at the post game, we'll see. I'm assuming it's going to be quite a lot of villagers lost to these Ulan raids. British tongue coming in, as 2 falconets are going to be sieging down this town center, along with a whole bunch of guard war wagons, which apparently we have both missed Germany deciding to go age 4. With 2 shipments stocked up, so the 2 factories are going to come in, I'm assuming. Yep.
Yes, that is the kind of standard operating procedure for when you get to 4. And with guild artisans and all the other settler wagons, I mean, Germany's going to have a pretty good eco for a while. But again, like their H4 is probably not as special as even Brits can. And war wagons, again, they're kind of awkward. The German skirms are solid, but nothing too spectacular. They'll probably snipe this commandery before it goes up.
Wow. Not quite. It does go up, but it's not long for this world, as these falconets are going to end up putting it down. British tongue coming out. These longbows order longbows, so they do shadow tech. They're going to be countering the skirmishers, at least a little
Britain
bit.
Attacking the Lakota base again.
Oh my goodness! Yeah. This game is just all over the place, Platt. This is fantastic. I mean, you've got fighting on 2 fronts here. Both players being all over both teams being all over the map at all times. Really impressive to see from both of these players for sure. This market going to end up going down. But missing this little base right here. No villagers over here, but you do have 2 corrals as these hospitallers have snuck their way through the wall.
Oh no, is that the factory wagon?
That is the factory wagon. It is on its way.
Oh,
And
that's a lot of vills too.
oh goodness.
And remember, these hospitalers are like mini dops, so there is a certain twing of irony dopping the German player in essence.
And sending German tongue at the same time. It's like, hey, I know I'm fighting you right now, but do you mind teaching me your language? The Hospitallers do find the factory.
Oh, there's a factory too.
The factory going to go down. Where did this other factory wagon? It went all the way up here. Wow. Okay, so this factory is going to go down very quickly. And I believe that the sacrifice will be made of these. Maybe not. Where are these we'll follow on board with these hospitalers. Plaid, I trust you'll inform me if anything else is going on the map. I'll take a look actually right here. And there certainly is a lot going on the map. Back down in the south, we've got more raids. A ping up here, so it would appear that, yes, Corbin Harbor has found the factory with his explorer, Blueberry El Tigre. So I believe, Platt, that's going to be the next target for any future raids.
Correct, and it's kind of out of there, so it's going to be a little bit harder to defend. But let's see, because like I said, at this point, I mean, Germany is still in a very commanding position, even though it did just get hit. Lakota is effectively still kind of out of this game, so I would expect Lakota to start raiding, and I would see if I was Corbin or Stefan, I'd try to get to age 4 because you don't want to fight guard units with veteran units, So
let's see here. Lakota is still on 31 villagers, so they have a decent number of villagers. I mean, I will say they're probably noticeably behind 47, 78, and 54. So they are noticeably behind in terms of villagers, but 37 is not terrible.
That's actually fantastic considering how much pressure they've been under this game. Like, good job to Holes for just, keeping that Vil mass alive and kind of keeping the dream alive at this point. Because again, despite being 2v1 several times, Team Red's score is still about even, and that's just a testament, I think, to both these players' determination. But at the same time, Corbin and Stefan, I mean, they're been raided hard and they're still keeping at it. They're fighting fronts in multiple theaters. It's been a really good game.
It's been a back and forth game. Germany now, I believe, finally getting a second town center up to the north. He is on mills. There's plenty of hunts around here. I don't think blue team. Okay, the blue team has noticed this. Probably Blueberry El Tigre coming in and building this town center. Ended up walking through this area and spotting out all this stuff. Purple finally getting another town center up. Unfortunately, it is right in line of sight of these villagers. So I am sure that in the near future, yep, it looks like this musk mass is, well, never mind. They're being intercepted by war wagons and skirmishers. I think there are a few Jaegers in the mix as well.
Are those rifle riders from Lakota?
We do have some rifle riders, so this is very dangerous. This musk mass is not safe at all. These rifle riders will do quite a lot of work. As I believe we see, some Hussar coming up here. So we'll keep an eye on that. But this is the big fight down here. Lakota trying to keep his mass alive. The Falconets being alive. And the villagers dying.
More evidence for the Nuremberg trials of 2023.
More villagers dying as these longbows are going to get hopped on by the rifle riders, the falconets, skirmishers. That is an entire wipe for the blue mass down here. But meanwhile, up here, we've got some Order Hussars going raiding. Corbin now aging to 4 behind this with the Pope. Not sure what that does. I don't play Malta. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
If I remember right, it's the cheaper Papal Guards upgrades for Malta. So he will get Guard, Pikes, Arbalesters, and Hospitaliers, if I remember correctly, for cheaper. If he also sent Hospitality as a card, he's going to have very cheap Guard upgrades.
Goodness.
Oh, it's the XP. It's 1,000 XP.
Yep, so there goes the factory. Factory's going to go down. Good trade probably for the Hospitalers. There's notifications going on everywhere. Rifle Riders sieging. I didn't want to click on the Explorer. Skirmishers dealing with this mass. We've got some more raids up here. Germany not going to be losing those villagers. Hospitallers actually ended up staying alive. We've got some raids in base here. The villagers, finally, villagers have decided that they have had enough of their bullshit and getting attacked, and they're fighting back. And they killed the bow rider. Now Brit has rockets. Brit's reached age 4 as well at some point. Has 3 town centers, sitting on 76 villagers, now getting the redcoats upgrade, and I believe that's the rocket shipment. Yes, sending the rocket shipment first.
All right, quick correction. Looks like the and thank you, Nicias. The Pope gives you 1,000 XP. It is the Papal Guard that gives you the cheaper Papal-ish guard units.
You know,
But yeah, so
that
Brit is now
makes
age
sense.
4, right? Malta is age 4. This is a now tough spot because, like I said, Germany is going to start to kind of taper off, right?
Especially after losing both his factories to Hospitaller raids and a bunch of villagers, which that's going to impact Germany quite a bit, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
I mean, we can see the score.
Raided.
Steven has now taken a score lead over. Oh, and the rockets are going to fire away. They're going to get both the falconets down. Redcoat musketeers should be able to deal with rifle riders from an age down. And there's the guard hospitallers coming in now. And this is just not looking good for Team Red, for Samson, the German and Lakota team here. Hospitallers now getting on the town center. I mean, you've got this massive skirmishers that's going to deal with the musketeers here. So this is a good fight to take as long as you can shield yourself from the rockets, which...
Ooh,
there we go. Ask and you shall receive, I suppose.
Right. Oh, and they're not paying attention to those hospitallers. No. Too busy, again, trying to commit more war crimes. And not paying attention to the battle. Ooh, if that is going to slow down significantly. Wow. Despite being at quite the disadvantage, Lakota and Germany hold.
Yeah, I think that it was actually a surprisingly good fight to take. I mean, you've got this massive skirms and Jaegers, and it's skirm goon essentially, with whatever Lakota can throw in at the time. But they hold, they force the hospitallers back. Very well done. Very well done.
But again, and despite being under pressure this whole game, Corbin and Stefan have done a great job though to stay on the winning condition, which is our economy is strong, our forces are strong. We can lose every battle and win the war. So and it's going to get increasingly harder, I think, for Germany now. If you look at the score, there's a significant score lead for Corbin and Stefan. So it's at this point, they just have to not throw or have their economy wrecked, right? And if you're Germany and you're Lakota, you're trying to figure out a way to basically get either Lakota to catch up, either by cutting down somebody else to size, or Lakota somehow is able to boom.
Which, more war crimes being committed, I think, here.
Right.
War Crime Central, that is the title of this video. I hope you enjoy it.
It's been vicious, and wow. I mean, they're kind of shocked so far that Malta hasn't mixed any cav, or Brits haven't mixed any cav, but they're not as mobile as Lakota, and oh no, more war crimes.
Oh, this is just no good. These poor villagers. The battle is still raging on up here. Lakota does have another town center, finally all the way down in the south. Brit 87 vills, Germany 72, 29. So we've lost vills. Lakota's lost vills since last count, unfortunately. And Corbin on 65 plus Wignacourt.
Yep.
At this point, we're 34 minutes into the game. And I think Corbin's completely on natural resources somewhere, which kind of blows my mind.
Yeah,
We've
the
got we've
amount of
got
resources on Mongolia is pretty impressive, as you can see. So we've got a
yeah.
little bit of a lull in the action, right? And this is, again, this is hard. You know, Germany is starting to peter out. We've got Malta, who now with cannons. Yeah, this is becoming just the absolute death ball from Malta. Brits, I would imagine, is kind of a similar Musk rocket kind of composition. This is going to be really tough, I think, to stop from Germany. Oh,
Yeah,
but they've got Colts.
they do have
There goes
Colts, so
one.
they're gonna snipe the one Falconet before it even unpacks. The town center is just gonna go down, I think. End of story. And this might be it. We'll see what the Jaegers and Skirms and War Wagons can do against the massive Order Bows, Redcoat Musketeers, and that's going to be the game right there. I think that's going to be all the settler wagons going down.
Yep.
Oh, nope. They decide to, well, a few of them split off and go after the war wagons. A few of them coming. As we look at the rest of the mass
This is just
and
chaos, though.
the
There's units going in every direction.
again, this is another hold. Another hold from Germany and Lakota. Completely wiping the mass. Very well done. As not rockets, but field guns coming in now for Brit. I hate to detract from the action, but that's just a complete clean. And what do you get from that? You get a few villagers. You get a town center.
Can we go back to the center of the map? Oh, no. Poor Stefan.
Oh. He's gonna lose a couple of these. Yep, he's gonna probably lose one more. Yeah, he's gonna lose one more Falconet. Really unfortunate. Lakota looks like he's got 2 town centers. Yep, 2 town centers now. Commanderies everywhere.
I think this is
Kerry's
looking
got,
pretty solid.
let's see, 34 needle gunners, and that's pretty much his entire military. Stevens got 61 musketeers and a falconet floating around here. Oh, that's not good. Corbin has, he's got nothing, actually. Corbin Harbor's got some hospitallers and a few order longbowmen, so the biggest mass that we've seen right now is this mass of musketeers.
Yeah, these are guard British musketeers. I mean, these guys are probably getting ready just to right-click something. You know, like I said, Germany is kind of petering off. Britain's still booming. It's got all the cards that it could want for its musketeers, their royal guard status, and yeah, I mean, at this point, it's going to be tough.
And
for
these poor
Lakota.
axe riders didn't know what they were walking into. And they meet their fate as Stephen walls up even more to prevent some raids, which good on him. It's
wow,
smart.
look at those walls. So before this fight goes up, there's some blue movement up in the top.
Blue movement up in the top.
No.
We've got some. Oh, he's got rush. It's an exodus of yaks. The yak exodus.
Yak charge. The yak charge. New meta yak charge.
It's the new. We've already committed enough war crimes. We're gonna pull a Lion King
now.
at this point now.
But yeah, those Opries are probably gonna just tear through that eco. Those are order Opries.
Yep.
So, oh, there it is right there.
And GG being called. The mass of musketeers doesn't even do anything, as they don't need to. The Opries come in and finish the job, catching this mass of skirmishers in the wrong place. This eco is just going to get completely torn down. Well done to Team Traitors, Corbin Harbor, Stephen Sundin, winning this game, tying the series up at 1 in this best of 5. You know, very well played to both teams, though. Platt, this was about as competitive as I think I've ever seen it.
You know, a couple things. First off, I just want to point out the irony of, after a game full of villager kills, that Opries, especially if you know the history behind them, are used to close out the game. I think the second thing is to give a lot of credit to Team Trader here. You know, Carry and Holes have very clean micro. Throughout the game, for the most part, I felt like Carry and Holes had the jump on Carry and Stefan. However, Carry and Stefan clearly had a strategy, between kind of faking out a rush, buying time, going for pure greed, and using the kind of the actual map itself, right? The size of it, trade routes being kind of hard to take. They were able to use a strategy to beat two probably mechanically a little bit cleaner players, and I think that was a really good presentation to people, and especially I enjoyed it, of how sometimes, it's not always about who can APM the highest, or who has like the most meta strategy. Sometimes you can use the meta off way, and I really want to give again credit to the Malta kind of psych out to buy time, because they're not crutching on like a cheesy strat or a revolt or anything. There is just, oh my god, that villager graph.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm stop mid thought.
And to your point again, um, you look at the KD of Team Samson, 433 to 200 for the German player. And despite being down and out for pretty much the entire game, and being almost a non-factor, still getting 215 kills and only having a positive KD compared to Team Traitors, 163 to 226, 235 to 359, just losing a ton of fights, but we're just able to boom behind it. And I think this villager graph is really the tail of the tape right here in the end. Just constant oppressive, the raids, the burning the factories down, and then obviously it's Brits, right? Brits was
And
relatively
Malta.
untouched, and Malta relatively untouched the entire game, was able to boom. Just well done, a well executed strategy for sure.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this one. You kind of got to see a little bit different strategies and philosophies at play. Credit to Team Samsung for, even though getting knocked down really early, staying competitive, keeping pressure on, not despairing. I think that's something that a lot of newer players make the mistake of. Is you lose your town center, you're like, oh, GG. But in a team game in particular, um, just you got to keep fighting, because they had a lot of opportunities to close this out. And credit to uh, Corbin and Stefan for, even though they got wiped and they got on the back foot time and time and being raided. I mean, that's just, I'm sure they were suffering on their end of the chat as the Ulons and Lakota just made mincemeat. So really, it was a tale of a good strategy executed, not deviating from that strategy and staying calm.
And
And yeah,
also to point out the tech switch. So you see a massive skirm goon from your opponent, and as Malta, you're going hospitalers, uh, and you see like the bow riders and everything, and you don't have units that can counter that. So then the send of British tongue to tech switch into um, longbows to try and help deal with the mass of stuff that literally counters all of your teammates' offerings. So well done on that part too. And yeah, map control, everything you said is pretty on the nose, I think here, Platt.
yeah, like I said, incredible game. Should we spoil the rest of the series?
I don't think we're going to be casting any of the rest of the series. So we will spoil it for you, I guess. This was what, the upper quarterfinals?
That's
Um,
correct.
Upper quarterfinals. So Team Samson does end up advancing in this series in 4 games out of 5. They win the next 2. They move on. That puts Team Traitors, or yeah, just the Traitors, down to the losers bracket, where they await a couple of series left to
Okay.
go. But
So
yeah,
we will be seeing both players again. We will be casting the quarterfinals in its entirety. So, like I said, we've had so many series, we haven't been able to cast as much. There should be quite a few other ones coming out in the next couple days by the time this comes out. And you will be definitely seeing more Team Sansom and more Team Traders in the future. So I really look forward to seeing how both teams perform going forth. And I'll let you close out,
yeah.
Spades.
Um, I don't think I have anything else to add besides go ahead and on your own time count up the amount of villagers that died over the course of this game. While you're doing that, because it's going to take some time, you might as well like and subscribe, because you're going to want to see more of this excellent.
Can we look at Vilpop real fast before we close out?
Yeah, Vilpop. And that's brutal.
Yep, like, subscribe, yada yada. People are adults; they know how to YouTube operates by now. If you don't, well, thanks for coming to our thing. I'm gonna hop off in spades. I look forward to seeing some more awesome games of the series come out.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys very much for watching. Again, do all the things. YouTube will algorithm its way to your eyeballs, and we will catch you in the next one. Peace out.